Welcome to Agastya International Foundation's campus in rural Chittoor district in Andhra Pradesh on the border of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. One of Agastya's core aims is to stimulate, educate and inspire children, teachers and the public at large about the need to act responsibly towards the environment. At Agastya, we believe that one of the most creative acts that a human being can perform is to live in harmony with nature. This piece of land, which was an arid piece of earth 4 years ago when we started, is being transformed into what might one day become an ecological wonder. The chief architect of this transformation is the famous ecologist, Dr. Yellappa Reddy. Let's listen to Dr. Yellappa Reddy. As he speaks to Mr. Chandramouli, it is an inspiring story, one from which I'm sure we can all learn a great deal.
Dr. Reddy, I was here 3 years ago. At that time, the entire stretch of this land was very barren. But today I'm here and I'm surprised looking at the greenery here. I'm sure you must have been behind this. And what was the vision you had and how did you transform this entire stretch of land into such a green piece today?
See, last 2 years, this entire zone experienced a severe drought. When I came 3 years back, then I looked at the entire landscape here. It is a Eastern Ghats segment, and Eastern Ghats of India is exposed for very severe biotic interference of hacking, grazing, cutting, destruction, and this area supporting very rich forest, though it is a scrub forest or a moist deciduous forest, about say 2-3 years, about 2 centuries back. But gradually the human interference, man started entering and cutting and grazing, browsing, setting fire. All these things, started affecting, and the topsoil have been washed off. Whatever we look at the other side of the
other stretch I find is very barren.
Because we have lost more than about 2 to 3 feet depth of very fertile soil.
Okay.
In a country like India, we are losing around 6,000 million tons of topsoil. So nature takes around 500 years to synthesize 1 centimeter of a soil. 600 years.
600 years.
So efforts of 600 years to synthesize a fertile soil of 1 centimeter, within no time we will destroy. So this area also, when I visited, I thought it is a challenge for me to restore, revive and regenerate this degraded land. Then I went round and saw the entire thing and analyzed very carefully, identified the nature of stresses the area has been exposed for. Then I interacted with the local people. What was the ecological status of this land about 3-4 decades back? So when I inquired and I explored, then they told me, sir, this area was quite a moderate forest, scrub forest and a dry deciduous forest. It was providing all kinds of resources, including medicinal plants, and also there was a perennial stream here, and there was no scarcity of drinking water for our cattle. But now the water is gone, everything is gone, and the area has become barren. Then I probed into the reasons for that. Then they told me, sir, this Kolar gold mine activity came here. Then the demand for the fuel wood and other things started. Then people started hacking and supplying the wood, etc., to the urban area, urban centers. Charcoal, then milk and overgrazing, and within a span of about 2-3 decades, whole area has become completely barren and de-skinned.
I am very happy to be associated with this Agastya's initiative, starting a center for life sciences at Kuppam. I have been myself been thinking for quite some time and asking myself, how is it possible to inculcate some kind of passion into the young minds regarding science. And this came as an opportunity for me to be associated with Agastya in this initiative. Life sciences is becoming more and more important in every walk of life, and in our own field in pharmaceuticals, the more and more discovery efforts are based on the now new targets in biology, and it is essential that we should even from the as a young stage of high school, we should be able to impart this knowledge of life sciences to children and show in practice how we are intertwined with the nature itself. And we are lucky in having the services of Dr. Yellappa Reddy with us, who has served as Chief Conservator of Forests of Karnataka government, who is spending a lot of time with us. And I hope this initiative and the initiatives that Agastya is planning to take up in the future will augur very, very well for our country and will serve the purpose of igniting the young minds.
The survival of a human being depends upon the ecological security, or integration of the ecological integration. So the ecology cannot work in isolation or in a reductionist attitude of a West, going in for more and more, for less and less. So our approach should be the holistic. The holistic approach means here, every component of an ecosystem has to be handled very carefully, especially the life sciences. So now Mr. Dr. Anjireddy's Life Sciences Center is a center where we can teach the rural community about the importance of the life sciences. They deal with the life sciences every day in and day out. They have got abundant empirical knowledge also. But unfortunately, this empirical knowledge have not been properly appreciated, documented, and given in an appropriate protocols.
How do you think that these concepts can be integrated in this Center for Life Sciences?
Our farmers and our culture was very much built in this eco-ethics, or practiced, or some sort of a customary laws have been ingrained in the village communities. Only in 1990, Human Development Index have been redefined that the ecological development or is directly linked to the human development. So we have to take care of all the total ecosystem, not in isolation.
You are trying to create a number of species here. You have identified, and you are trying to groom a number of endangered species. Obviously, your mission is to protect them and then create a gene pool whereby you can disseminate that and you can propagate that. And then how do you think you can integrate that with this Center of Life Sciences, and then how does it work? What is your plan for that?
Correct. See, this area is subjected to very severe biotic stress, fire, grazing, and drought, hacking, all these things. So the species have undergone tremendous amount of stress, and some mutation has taken place. Now there are new traits are there. My idea now is to conserve and to facilitate this root stock material, which has undergone a lot of biotic stress, to express its diversity. Look at the top of the hill, that slope, then this downhill slope. In this region, there are well-defined hydric zones are there. That is a shallow soil where water holding capacity is very less. The mid slope, the soil depth is slightly higher. So like that sort of the new traits have been created there. Now by giving full protection and water if you conserve the water, then the Mother Earth expresses, or the root stocks will come out and expresses its glory, its own natural splendor. Our idea is to document them. What is the genetic variation? So they have undergone a lot of stress. So they have developed a unique genes of drought tolerance.
How long does it take to express itself?
Within another 2-3 years, within the next year we can document. What are the new strains? What are the new genes they evolved? Because they were subjected to a lot of ill treatment. So when they are subjected to ill treatment, they have to develop a lot of defensive mechanism. And also when the land is suffering from acute drought, they have to develop genes for drought resistance. So now all these genes are there. So it is up to us to catalog and find out on which genes they have developed. Easily we can list out about 600 different species here. About 300 species have got, now we know the utility. Medicinal value, food value, for dyes, for flavors, for essences, like that. So if we just categorize them, and most of these 300 species have got a known utility as a herbal plant for to treat the varieties of diseases, and also as a food processing dye, and for confectionery industries, for flavoring industries, for cosmetics. So this we can again find out this utility plus what type of other additional genes they have developed to enhance the active principles within them, to withstand onslaught of the praise, onslaught of all the things. So that is called, it is a gene pool.
May I ask you a very direct question? Who do you think you are going to benefit through this Dr. Anji Reddy Center for Life Sciences?
Our target group is not only the teachers, students, farmers, it is the whole community. Because now at the global level, climate change is taking place. Temperature is increasing. Rainfall pattern is altering. So the vegetation also, now we should find out what type of vegetation mutations have taken place, and we have to give them a technology to integrate these mechanisms evolved in the gene pool. Knowingly or unknowingly, they have developed a genes to withstand these stresses. Now we will identify this gene and we will tell them, here is a resistant variety.
Take it and then plant it there.
We will just give this seed.
Propagation.
We will give this seed, or we will take the gene here and then transfer this gene to the other gene, do this cross pollination, develop a more resistant variety, and this will be readily available. So it is an open research laboratory doing the breeding work. They don't climb the intellectual property rights. The nature will not demand you have to pay me a royalty for evolving new.
But don't you think that you can also facilitate villagers how they can identify their own gene pools in their respective villages?
Definitely. So there are different agroecological regions. Now we have to identify what is the agroecological regions. In that region, what is the most appropriate package of practices. So how much area should be under a tree cover? How much area under bush cover? How much area under agricultural crops? How much area water demanding species? What is the quantity of the water? What is the technology required for increasing the water holding capacity of the soil? So what is the varieties which is less water demanding species? All these technologies in the Life Sciences Center they can evolve. Now integrated pest management. So if you incorporate the birds or the spiders, how many, whom they are feeding, and then what type of other higher values we can realize from this technology. I was explaining about the spiders, their role in the ecosystem. They are the best biological control. This is one of the species which has got the capacity to control varieties of the insect pests in agricultural ecosystem. So the spider webs have been eliminated in the agricultural ecosystem because of spraying of highly potent pesticides. The entire the spider population have completely eliminated from the agricultural ecosystem. Each web, at least about 5 webs, can devour at least about 5 to 6 varieties of the pests in the which are destroying the agricultural crops. Because of the pesticide application, the spiders have been eliminated. Now, with the result, the farmers has to spend quite a lot of money to control the pests, and they are poisoning their soil, they are poisoning the air, they are poisoning their food. So the water has been poisoned. So in this gene pool area, there are about 30-40 different types of the spiders, species, different species. Propagate them and multiply in the agricultural field. These spiders can take care of varieties of the pests and diseases. Now this life sciences laboratory can do an excellent job of breeding these species, identifying these species, which species, what type of web they are going to construct, and locations specific webs if we create in the agricultural field in the appropriate season, appropriate way. If we just release them, they will start building their nest immediately within no time, overnight. So then they will take care of most of the pests, which are destroying the agricultural crops. So without any cost, within 5 rupees, carrying them, multiplying them, they will take care of that one. So in this entire very irregular undulated area, so one of the techniques we thought seems to be very appropriate is digging pits around say about 10 to 15 meters apart at contour level. Then each saucer will be of this depth and in this fashion. It is called a semicircular or half moon shaped saucer. They have also named it as a Reddy saucer because I have designed this technique. So whenever rainfall water runs from the top of the hill, so this each mini watershed can trap huge quantity of the water, say about 30, 40, 50 liters of water. We have calculated roughly how much of water can travel from that point to this point and this point to that point. And now we have incorporated one permanent crop, a tree crop here, and this is one of the threatened species. This is called Terminalia arjuna. They will make a wonderful medicine called Arjuna Rista from the bark of this, and they over exploited the bark and they make a bottle for as a heart tonic without any side effect. This is one stage of a pupa stage, and he has used the local material, beautifully constructed, comes out. It is camouflaging and no prey can identify and they will think that it is a part of a plant. So this is a wonderful the mechanism to protect the young ones. This species is grown in most of the wilderness areas naturally, and this is one of the best medicine, anti-venomous medicine. From the root they can extract and they can give oral consumption also, and they can also smear the liquid to the portion where it gives a bite. This is a land surface very badly de-skinned. More than about 6 to 7 layers of highly productive soil have been washed off. And now if we just see this, despite of fairly good showers, some vegetation is trying to come up, and the cattle come and graze in this area. The cattle not only eat grass and also they eat so many other herbaceous materials. This is called Vishnu Kranti. It is a important medicine to cure schizophrenia. So when animal eat these things and they will it gets into the animal the milk and other things, then that's how the biodiversity in an area So now if you just look at, this is a supporting about 8 to 10 different species. For instance, Lucas, this one is a different herbaceous material, this is a different herbaceous material. So in a 1 square meter, we can see about 8 to 10 different types of herbaceous material. So if we properly manage a pasture like this with what is called nature's blood bank, the grass, the Haryali grass, so naturally the type of food or the milk will be very rich and highly medicated milk. So instead of going in for monoculture, artificial feeds, if we manage this type of pastures with lot of herbaceous material, the products we are getting is very rich, nourishing, highly balanced. This is the type of milk children should drink. Then they will not only it prevents diseases, they develop resistance for the various varieties of diseases. So again the animals will drop, they urinate, the dung they will put back and it will go back to the soil. So what is required is a management of natural pasture with all herbaceous material. Today the entire country suffers from a major malady due to faulty chemical coherence. The biosphere has lost its chemical balances due to various reasons, and also due to application of chemical fertilizers of only 3 major nutrients, and also the erosion, loss of nutrient balance, the chemical coherence has lost. The most important thing, what many people have not understood, if you look at the soil of this time, this soil normally should contain 1,10,000 to 15,000 kgs of oxygen in 1 hectare and about 70 to 80,000 kgs of carbon dioxide in 1 hectare and several other nutrients. Then only it becomes a breathable soil. But unfortunately today the soil, due to compaction, due to application of various chemicals, loss of life forms in the biosphere, and as the Mother Earth is unable to breathe. Oxygen is a very important element and it is a major constituent of the Mother Earth. So what we have to think about is how to restore these. What type of protocols we have to evolve to revive, rejuvenate this chemical coherence, and how to convert the Mother Earth, how to supply the required quantity of oxygen. It is the most important element. Here at the Agastya campus at Anjireddy's Center for Life Sciences, we are planning to do the nutrient mapping of the entire campus and find out the diversity and also the crop composition, then the leaf litter, leaf meal, what species will enrich the soil. Then after doing that, we can easily make out the chief architects to increase the to enhance the protein value, to enhance the enzyme and vitamins in the end products, whether it is agricultural crop or anything else, even in the medicinal plants also. Then this center can educate the farmers in the surrounding villages, and after taking the soil analysis and studying and preparing a nutrient map for them, then by supplementing this sort of a information and the chemicals, then the product value, what people talk about, the organic farming and other things, it certainly will become a more meaningful, more holistic. It is a very needy thing today, because when we talk of ultra health, when we talk of prevention of diseases, when we talk of disease resistance, when we talk of health promotion, this is a cost-effective, simple way. Instead of going in for supplementing through vitamins, through proteins, through other chemicals, this is a holistic way. It is a challenge. But why we have to accept the challenge? Because God is extremely kind to give this soil diversity, plant diversity, and also the animal diversity. So animals will come, feed and defecate, urinate. Birds, when they defecate, they will add potassium, they will add calcium, they will also add lot of plant promoters. I think this center and Agastya campus will become an eye-opener on many interesting areas. So today the agricultural practices in the country has actually ruined the Mother Earth. It has affected the general health of the population, and people are suffering from varieties of civilized diseases. The NGRD Life Science Center can undertake a wide range of studies like polyculture, permaculture, then rainwater harvesting, then eco-farming practices, practical protocols. And in addition to that, we can easily lay out about 50 to 60 different types of demonstration plots here. So these demonstration plots, we have applied this, and with this package of practices, this is the quantity, quality of the material we were able to generate. So if the soil is deficient of the zinc or copper or molybdenum, if you advise the farmer to cultivate about 200 plants or 300 plants continuously for 3 years and then supplement with his green manure, so that sort of a nutrient balance can be restored. భూమి తల్లి కదా మనం కాపాడేది, మనకు ఆహారం ఇచ్చేది. ఆ అమ్మికి ఎత్తుకొని పోయి విషం వేసి తింటే మనకి విషం తగులుతుందో లేదో, మనం తినే పదార్థం కూడా విషం కదమే. ఎట్లా అవుతుంది? మన భోజనంతోనే మనం తింటాం, మనకు తెలియకుండానే మనం భోజనం విషం వేసుకుంటాం, మనం తెలియకుండానే ఆ నీళ్ళకి కూడాను ఈ విషం పోయి చేరుకుంటుంది. ఆ పురుగులు ఎంత తింటుంది తెలిసినా, మనము 1 కేజీ వేస్తుంటే 1 గ్రామే తినేది, ఇంకా 999 గ్రాములు మన్నుకు పోతుంది, గాలికి పోతుంది, అదంతా మనకే చేరుకుంటుంది. దానికనే దాన్నంతా మనం నియంత్రణ చేయాలని చెప్తే వెరీ త్వరగా చేయొచ్చు. ది డెమాన్స్ట్రేషన్ ప్లాట్ షుడ్ evolve a very meaningful, practical package of practice. If they understand, I am sure that they can practice it, especially the ladies. The center can engage the local people and then lay out a well-designed plan, demonstration plot.
ఇప్పుడు మేము కొన్ని ప్రాక్టీసులు చెప్తాం అనుకోండి. ఇప్పుడు మీకు పాతకాలంలో మీరు ఎట్లా చేస్తూ ఉంటారు, దాన్నే పెట్టుకొని బేసిక్ దాన్ని ముందర పెట్టుకొని కొంచెం ఇంప్రూవ్ చేసి చెప్తామంటే మీరు ఒప్పుకుంటారా? మీరు చేసేకి ఇష్టమైన మీకు
ఇక్కడ చూపిస్తే
చేసి చూపిస్తాం, ఇక్కడ మీకు
మీ చేతనే చేపిస్తాము, మీరే చేసి చూస్తుంటే మీ అనుభవంకే వస్తుంది, ఇదే మంచిది అని చూపించొచ్చును కదా.
అవును సార్.
The Agastya landscape has transformed itself into an excellent gene pool area, and natural vegetation is responding very positively. Around 300 different type of herbs, shrubs, climbers, crawlers, creepers, all of them are coming, and each one is trying to compete to find their own places. And then you can see about 30-40 different types of the butterflies, and millipedes, centipedes, reptiles, the snakes, the hares, foxes,
wild boars.
Yes, wild boars.
They just used to come and dig the
yes. So they're all. So the life is coming back.
Yes.
Within a very short span of 1.5 years. But I never thought that such a harsh, hostile site will respond so well, so positively, with such a wide range of biological structures. Habitat is providing enough,
coverage,
food pyramid.
Yes.
If you look to the food pyramid, already it is widening.
And they are secure here. They know very well. Some of the birds even doesn't fly away when we